What's up, everybody? For today's video, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us go through, but almost nobody realizes they're doing it until it's already happened. And it's losing yourself for someone else. And I don't mean that in a overly dramatic way. I don't mean you completely change overnight. I mean that it happens slowly, over time, almost invisibly. You start making small adjustments to your life, small compromises, small sacrifices, and at first it feels like love. It feels like caring. It feels like being invested. But over time, you look up and you realize that you're not really living like yourself anymore. You're living as a version of yourself that you think will keep someone else. And if you're watching this, there's probably a good chance you already know what I mean. Now, this never starts with you saying, "Let me abandon myself." It starts with you being a little bit more innocent, and it starts with you really liking someone. It starts with you caring, and it starts with you wanting to make something work. And so you begin to prioritize them. You begin to think about them more than you think about yourself. And you start asking yourself, do they like me? Am I doing enough? Am I saying the right thing? Am I being too much? Am I being too little? And before you know it, they've taken over your life. Your mind becomes a constant negotiation, not with them, but with yourself. And one of the saddest parts is you start shrinking without even realizing it. You stop saying what you actually feel because you don't want to mess anything up. You stop doing certain things because you don't want to seem annoying. You start filtering yourself. You start editing yourself. You become less honest. Not because you're fake, but because you're scared. And the scary thing is, you start calling that love. But love is not supposed to feel like that. One of the clearest signs that you're losing yourself is when your mood completely depends on them. Your entire day is based on, did they text? Did they respond? Did they seem distant? Did they seem happy? Did they seem sad? And suddenly, your life just isn't yours anymore. It's a waiting room, and you're waiting for reassurance. You're waiting for clarity, waiting for them to choose you. And that is exhausting because you are not meant to live someone else's emotional schedule. A lot of people, they think love is intensity. They think love is obsession. They think love is about constantly thinking about someone. But sometimes that's not love. Sometimes that's attachment. That's anxiety. That's a fear of losing. Real love is stable. And real love does not require you to abandon yourself. Now, the part that really hurts is when you lose yourself, it usually looks like you're betraying your own needs. You need clarity, but you accept confusion. You need consistency, but you accept unpredictability. You need effort, but you're accepting the bare minimum. And you tell yourself that it's fine and it's not a big deal. But deep down, you know. You know what you need. You're just scared to admit it. So why do we lose ourselves? Honestly, I think it's because being chosen feels like safety. Being wanted feels like worth. And if you're not fully confident in yourself, you start using someone else's attention as proof that you matter. And I get it, trust me, I really do. But the problem is, when your own self-worth comes from someone else, you will always be at risk. Because people change, people leave, and people don't always stay. And if you build your identity around them, what will you be when they're gone? And at some point, you have to realize if you have to lose yourself to keep someone, keeping them is not worth it because the cost is just too high. You were not put on this earth to become a watered down version of yourself just to be easier to love. The right people, they don't require you to abandon yourself. So you just cannot make one person your entire world because that is not love, that is dependency. And your life has to stay yours. Your goals, your friends, your priorities, your routines, your peace, your identity. A relationship should add to your life, not replace it. But the beautiful part is, you can always come back. Even if you lost yourself, even if you were too attached, even if you forgot who you were, you can come back by choosing yourself again, by doing the things that make you feel like you, by rebuilding your own foundation, by remembering that you are a whole person, not somebody waiting to be completed. And sometimes the reason something hurts so much is not because you lost them, it's because you lost yourself. And that's what you're grieving. Not just losing the person, but the version of you that disappeared from trying to hold on. So, if you're in this place, here's what I want you to hear. Stop abandoning yourself. Stop shrinking. Stop chasing. Stop begging silently. Stop trying to prove anything. Come home to yourself, because you deserve a type of love that feels like freedom, not anxiety. And you deserve a love that expands you, not erases you. And if you take anything from this video, let it be this. You can still miss someone and choose yourself. You can still care and still walk away before you lose yourself. And you can love without disappearing. Don't lose yourself trying to be enough for someone else. Be enough for yourself first. Always.